your RV is going to be on the straight and narrow.
So leveling the RV is a standard thing that all of us do every time we set up camp. And there's reasons why you want to do that. So let's say you like fried eggs for breakfast. Well, you probably prefer them not all bunched up together in one corner of the frying pan.
Because you're going to end up with scrambled in that situation.
Yeah, if you want to have scrambled eggs, great. Maybe you don't care that your frying pan is tipped over to one side. But to get the frying pan level to cook your fried eggs, you've got to have the stove level. And to have the stove level, you've got to have the RV level.
And when it comes to sleeping, I want to make sure that I don't have my head too far low because I don't like having all the blood rush into my head while I'm asleep.
Now, some of us might want the blood to rush into our head. Maybe we need help with our follicles, I don't know. But I have a lot of trouble sleeping when my head is down below my feet. Lastly, one of the biggest reasons for getting level is an RV refrigerator requires being more level.
All of the manufacturers recommend that your refrigerator be within 2 degrees or just a couple of degrees level side to side and front to back.
RV refrigerators, whether or not they're running on propane, running on electric, 12 volt, 110, doesn't matter. They need to be very close to perfectly level to operate properly. You want to be level for all these reasons. When it comes time to level, if you're very, very off level, it may require stacking up a lot of extra height. And that's done by using something typically called stacker blocks or leveling pads. Now, those things are dual purpose. One is they provide extra height. If you don't have a jack system, or if your jack system has a limited amount of travel, you need to add to that height on one side or one end, the front of the back.
Right.
And you do that by stacking up these blocks.
They're like Legos, and they basically interlock together and form a nice block, a tower that you can put underneath your leveling jack in order to provide that extra height.
Now, the other thing they do, beside provide height, is they increase the surface area that the jack sits on. So if you have hydraulic or electric jacks like this Class A motorhome here does, the jacks that go down, what are called the landing gear at the bottom of the jack, are only so large. And it's a really large weight to be pressing down on such a small area. By putting pads down that are larger than your landing gear, you end up by increasing the surface area underneath the landing gear by adding those larger area pads, and that will prevent them from sinking in.
Right? It distributes the weight over a bigger surface, and therefore there's less pressure on each square inch.
Now, the most common kind of pad, as John mentioned, are the smaller pads that are just a little bit larger than the landing gear, and those are fine in a lot of cases. If the smaller pads aren't enough to handle the situation, either they're too small or the ground is too soft, larger pads are available, and some of them are very large and very robust, and those can make a huge difference in very soft surfaces or in very heavy RVs.
Yeah. They can also be handy even in a commercial campground when you're on asphalt or concrete, because they have a little bit of give to them. It actually makes it feel a little bit more planted when you're putting your jacks down on those surfaces. It's less rigid, maybe a little bit less wobbly.
Now, there's even a special type you can get that are permanently installed on the landing gear.
That's right.
And the first time you put them on, your landing gear actually go down into them and snap into place. And after they have gone in and locked on, those pads now are permanently part of your landing gear. And when you retract your jacks, they come up with your jacks and they stay there, and you never need to put them on and take them off each time you set up your campsite. They just stay in place.
So they increase the surface area so that you're helping to distribute the weight on a larger area on soft surfaces, and they're giving you that extra inch so that your jacks now have an extra inch of lift available so that you might not need to use additional stacker blocks in order to get level on a particular site.
Now, leveling pads are devices to help us get level, but how do we know when we are level? Now, even if you have a hydraulic or electric built-in leveling system, you still might not be level when you think you are.
But there are other gadgets on the market that help you with determining how level you are, and when you get leveled, that you are actually 100% level.
Sometimes these come built into RVs, and it's becoming more common that even travel trailers might come with a leveling device built in that's extremely accurate. Most of the time, though, those of us who don't have brand new RVs that are coming on the market now, we can add one easily as an aftermarket addition simply by installing it, and it works off Bluetooth to your iPhone, iPad, tablet, and basically what it is a hypersensitive, accurate leveling sensor. However you normally level is exactly how you're gonna level with this super accurate leveling device, guiding you as to how far to raise the jacks or how many pads to put down. And it even has a cooler feature than that, which is having this built-in super accurate sensor will tell you exactly how many inches high or low your side or front or rear are before you even start to get level, before you even try. For us, it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, being able to just say, yep, we're level before you even try. So us RVers like to keep things on the level while we're out here, and hopefully some of these tips will help you do the same.
When you pick up a new RV for you, whether it's new or used, you want to make your RV your own. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do, and there's all kinds of accessories that you can buy. Some people want to look at the hardware side of things. So if you have a trailer, you might want to get a new suspension or upgrade the brakes or get a new pin box. From the softer side of things, you might want to make the inside a lot more comfortable so it doesn't look the same way every other one does when it rolls off the factory line. So maybe you want to hang up some pictures, maybe you want to change the curtains, maybe you want to add something decorative in the bedroom. Something else you might want to do in the bedroom, almost certainly, is get a better mattress. The problem is, a lot of RVs have odd shapes and sizes of mattresses that could be custom made for that RV. I'm actually standing in front of our bed. Let me show you something. You undo this latch and this platform comes down. And once the platform's down, you just bring this folding mattress piece in and it fills in the center part of the bed. And there you have it. So given the 4-piece mattress configuration here in the camper van, and the fact that we need to have a 4-piece mattress in order to be able to lift up this platform and gain access to the center area here, you can't just go into a mattress store or order online a standard queen or king size mattress to drop on this platform, because you'd lose that additional functionality. And I'll tell you, every little bit of floor space in something as small as a camper van is cherished. Now, there are abilities to order custom-made mattresses, but to me, I thought that's going to be really troublesome, really burdensome, and actually kind of expensive. So when I became aware of Mattress Insider, I contacted them and I thought, okay, listen, I've got a unique challenge for you here, and I don't think there's going to be one much tougher than what we're throwing at them. But you know what? The measuring process was really easy. They were great to work with, and before too long, we had our mattress delivered to us, and it just arrived today. We're so excited. I can't wait to unbox it and see how it does its job replacing this one.
It sure seems like a bit of a daunting task, but there happen to be many aftermarket mattress vendors out there, some of which have customizing options suitable for RVs. By simply providing your particular first.
Our idea is not to drive long time every day. That's not what we do this for. We want to be able to have time to stop and just to enjoy the travel and enjoy the country, and not exactly kill ourselves doing it, you know. Otherwise, like, buy a plane and go have fun with that. Independent as possible.
So whether you're full-timing or part-timing, just be sure to take your time and savor every moment. With conventional lighting in a motorhome, the choice of color being emitted is not something that's usually decided on, but LED lights are available in a range of colors with a choice that's all about personal preference.
One of the things that is talked about a lot with LEDs that we heard all the time was that people equate it to being like blue light, like a laboratory. What are things like now, and are there color choices that people can get that allow them to tailor things the way they want their RV to feel?
There are color choices, and when the LEDs first came out, they tended to be that cool white light, which is a very sterile, cool light, pushing it towards a blue scale. Now, some people love that color, and some people want the most visible light, and the whiter colors also give you a little bit more visible light. Now, we try not to get into the blue lights. There is a cutoff on color where if you go too far, it's gonna be bluish, like the original HIDs were on cars. They were out there in blue, and everybody hated them.
Everybody knew when someone had HIDs, everyone could tell.
Exactly.
But that's changed now.
Yeah, and the compromise colors in between, like natural white. Now, with color choice, I have encountered people that love warm white. I have people that hate warm white. I have people that love cool white, and I have people that hate it. Natural white's a nice compromise in between, and it's very important too that you learn about the colors before you make your personal choice, because it is a personal choice as to what color you go with in your RV.
And keep in mind, you can always mix and match color temperatures to create the ideal mood for your space. You may think an RVer's day-to-day is mostly spur of the moment, but there's one occurrence that's 100% a sure thing that we can always count on, and that's repairs. The RV geeks, Peter and John, have made it their mission to personally tackle most of the speed bumps they encounter. But even these taskmasters recognize when a project should not be done single-handedly.
Now, even though we've gotten better and better at taking on more and more challenging tasks, there are still limits to things we could do ourselves, but would rather not if given the opportunity to bring in someone with more expertise and bigger ladders.
For the job of replacing their awning, they've enlisted the help of Tyler from Tough Top Awnings to give them an extra hand and expert guidance.
Tyler, we have done a ton of awning and slide topper replacements before. However, we've only done the fabric. This is the first time we've ever done the awning itself with all the hardware and the works. It's different.
Right. Well, it's as we go through this whole process, it's not changing the fabric, it's installing a new one. So you're sizing up your hardware, make sure it matches up to your existing points of entry. And we're not pulling a motor, we're not changing material, we're just sliding the whole thing into place and plopping it right down in the legs.
So what's different about this one is we're bringing it all in as one piece on the roller, not rolling it all down and taking it apart, right?
That's correct. So in this instant, we're going to spend a lot more time prepping the hardware and making sure things go in straight, because we're not adjusting it from the ground up. We're putting it up there, and hopefully if we do all of our measurements and everything correctly, it's going to be a piece of cake, and you'll see.
Now, we've said before that this kind of stuff that we do, awning and slide topper replacements and other things like that, doesn't require a professional. However, we were particularly comfortable having you here today because of the size of this. Bringing all of it on and off as one big piece here like this was a little daunting. And like I said, you've got those big ladders. That's like key.
Ladders are important. You want to make sure that there's no falling off a ladder, especially something this heavy. You want to take your time, make sure both people are comfortable, and if at any point during a DIY, if you don't feel comfortable, stop.
If they're going to go out this weekend and fix something, what's the first thing they should do?
Study. Before you start on a project on Saturday, you should be studying on Thursday what you have, what you're doing, and how the outcome's going to be. And you should think about it and try to be methodical about planning out how, step by step, it's going to do it.
Can I suggest that YouTube videos might be a good way to research?
YouTube's a good research, or just calling a professional in that industry that takes calls and is happy to share knowledge.
So someone who's a little newer and wants to start doing things themselves, what should they do if they go to start a project and things immediately seem like something's not right? What should they do?
Talk to someone else. If you're in an RV park, go talk to your neighbor. If it looks like they've done something, or ask them. or do some Google searching and find someone. If you're in the awning industry, call me. I'm happy to talk to anyone. There's a lot of people in every aspect of the RV industry that is willing to help people accomplish their goal.
Well, we know that we've had things go both ways with that. So we have had people in RV parks where we've been who we saw were having difficulty managing something, and we've offered to help and helped them. And when we've needed help, even with the level of expertise that we've developed over all these years, we still need help sometimes, and we've had people come help us too. So it really is community, exactly. A big part of what happens in the RV community is people helping each other, and we have found that. And we always say, we don't know everything, and the day you stop learning is the day you're going to have problems working on your RV. Always be open to learning new things as you go.
Exactly, and me being an RVer, I understand the problems you go through RVing, and so that's why I'm always willing to help out.
Well, and you're an RVer yourself.
Yeah.
So the fact that you RV, you know what it's like, you've been out there with things that you aren't even an expert in, when it's not something related to awnings and slide toppers, you have your own issues that you've dealt with as an RVer, and you've taught yourself because you're not a trained RV technician.
No.
So you have to learn too, and all of us continue learning all the time, and that's what makes it possible to continue upping our DIY game.
Exactly.
So the next time you're faced with a dilemma, keep in mind that in the RV world, a moderate repair can also be an opportunity to save money, save time, learn a new skill, and interact with fellow RVers. All you need is some common tools, common sense, and the confidence to do it yourself.